Hi everyone, welcome to this week's episode of the Philly Boots Rugby Round Table. As you know by now, we try and talk about all things grassroots rugby, good and bad. But this week we get to celebrate, and we can celebrate with Erdington RFC, who have won the Gallagher Rugby Club of the Season award. And I am very thrilled to be joined by Andy Trueman, the commercial manager of Erdington Rugby Club, and Ugo Monye, former Harlequins, BT Sport, England, British and Irish Lions, and Gallagher ambassador. How are we, gentlemen?
Very good, thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, wonderful, thank you.
It's an absolute pleasure. Ugo, we'll start with you. Why is grassroots rugby so important, especially at the moment?
It really is important, and even more so at the moment that we level of the game. I mean, within the Gallagher Premiership, there's so many superstars, but they all started somewhere, and their journey started within grassroots. Myself, no different. So I think it's great that Gallagher have had this on their agenda, that they've created awareness for some of the great work which has been done out there. When you go around, and I was fortunate enough to go to Erdington Rugby Club, you know, it's not just the rugby club, it's the lifeblood of the community. It offers so much more than just rugby, and that's founded upon lots of volunteers that take time out of their day because of their passion and their love for the game to be able to provide opportunities on a rugby pitch, and some of those opportunities extend way beyond the rugby pitch. So I'm thrilled that we've been able to put together this awards, and I've got to say Erdington Rugby Club are thoroughly deserving of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Andy, why is grassroots rugby so important to you?
Well, just reinforcing what you guys said, really. I mean, rugby, you know, for me certainly, and I think for a lot of our guys, is not just about playing the sport on a Saturday afternoon. It's the whole package. It's the whole way of life that comes with rugby. It's the family, it's the community, it's the people you meet along the way. You carry lifelong friendships from the rugby group. I know certainly, you know, I can bump into people that I played with or against 20 years later, and there's still a bond there, there's still a rapport. And I think in our case, it was important that we extended that in the community to kids who maybe didn't get that opportunity, like a lot of the pure rugby clubs get. So that's where we pitched.
So would you just tell us a little bit about Erdington RFC, a little bit of history, where you are today?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to dwell on the history, but it was 1924 when it was originally formed. It shut in 2003. Lack of playing numbers at the time. We closed the clubhouse doors intending to open again in the new season, and in the interim, the vandals burnt the clubhouse down. So it was the death knell as far as we were concerned. And then so 3 years ago now, there was a local parent who started coaching his kids on Spring Lane playing field, which was our ancestral home. And we got wind of it, a few of the old boys, and we all clubbed together with the parent, and we started the side going again. The intention really was just to start it for kids. As it was, we found there was an appetite and an interest from seniors, particularly parents. Funny enough, I mean, half of our senior side at the time was, and still is, parents of kids who've come down. So a lot of them had never played rugby before. So we've not only brought it to the kids, we've brought it to some of the parents as well.
So how many sides do you run at the moment?
We're only running the one senior side, but we have a rotation system. It's very difficult when you've only got one side. So we've got 20 plus players all sitting on the touchline at the moment. But we were close. Without COVID-19, we forecast that we would have been running at the start of this season 2 sides by October. Which, you know, considering it's a standing start 3 years ago. And then if you extrapolate that out, we've got in the next 6 months, we've probably got 3 or 4 of our senior kids who will start to qualify. So they'll start feeding to the senior side, hopefully.
So it sounds like you're thriving down there.
Yeah, it's not without its challenges. I mean, as I say, COVID has set us back. Certainly from a financial perspective. I mean, like a lot of charities around the country, you know, we relied heavily on private sponsorship. A lot of that has dried up with COVID-19. So we are actively, I mean, part of winning this award as far as we're concerned is just really showcasing what we've done. And, you know, holding the begging bowl out there and saying, we intend to carry this on. We want to grow it. We want to make it more accessible for even more inner city kids. But to do that, we need funding to do it. We can't, we're on our uppers, let's say, at the moment.
Yeah, well, yeah, everyone needs funding. So, Ugo, what is the Gallagher Rugby Club Award for anyone that might not have seen or heard about it before?
So we gave every grassroots rugby club an opportunity to go out and nominate themselves, and it's the first year that we've done it. It was incredible. The toughest thing was getting from 100 down to 6 finalists, and of those finalists was Erdington Rugby Club. So we then had we had a meeting on Zoom due to COVID, and the unfortunate thing about it is that the awards were actually meant to be given out the same night as the Premiership Awards night. So swanky Southwest London hotel, we'd invite our finalists down, have a table, a lovely meal, loads of free drinks.
Yeah, plenty of alcohol.
Drinking responsibly, of course. Get the opportunity to come up on stage and get handed out the award in front of the great and the good from a rugby world. I had to take everything offline, and we sat down, was it a couple of weeks ago, 6 of us all chatted through the finalists, and I've got to say it was a unanimous decision that it should be Erdington Rugby Club. Having been there myself, Erdington is as grassroots as it gets, and it very much feels it. And I think the one thing we kept coming back to was they do a lot with very little. And when you look at the core values of what rugby are, and they've sometimes become cliche and have been said without a lot of meaning, but when you actually apply those core values into an Erdington, or put them through an Erdington lens, then they absolutely live and breathe those things, and the impact they're having, the work which they do with the police. I've met a couple of the boys and girls that have been down there, Farouk and Halima, saw them again last week. I mean, I was thrilled to be there. I was genuinely thrilled to be there because I could see what it meant to them and the pride that they took in winning this award. And so, yeah, that was the process. That's what it is. And it's something that Gallagher and myself are very proud to have championed this year, especially with, some of the challenges that lots of grassroots clubs are facing at the moment.
So who were the other clubs that made the shortlist?
Battersea Ironsides, Haringey Ladies. I've got a list here. I interviewed Haringey Ladies and Battersea Ironsides. The other 3 were interviewed by Danielle Waterman, another Gallagher ambassador. I'm just trying to find them here.
Kingsbridge was one.
Kingsbridge was one.
And Manchester, there's Manchester, Trafford.
That's right. You're right. Trafford and Long Levens.
Long Levens.
So the last was Haringey Ladies, Trafford, Long Levens, Battersea Ironsides, Kingsbridge, and Erdington. Yeah, there you are.
So brilliant lineup. And so how did you feel, Andy, about finding out that you had won this award, and how was the reaction down the club?
Well, unfortunately, I was the one person they told, so somebody had to coordinate the effort, which on the day was a little bit hectic anyway, trying to keep it secret and then trying to contain it also for a couple of days after the award before the official announcement was made. So, but yeah, I mean, it was just a massive, massive boost for the club. I mean, it was great as well to see you go down there, and the guys from Gallagher as well. I mean, there was an obvious sense of achievement in what they'd done as well, which was great to see.
Yeah.
And it was genuinely felt. And I think, as a club, there's no better accolade we could have got. Recognition of the hard work that the volunteers put in, and the hard work of the kids as well. I mean, the kids, I've said to Hugo, some of these kids travel from the other side of Birmingham to get to us. They catch 2 buses. It takes them an hour. That's a lot of effort to put in. So
definitely.
Obviously we're doing something right to draw them from that distance, but also they have to be, putting the effort in themselves, which is great.
Can I just say just quickly as well, because Andy, I've chatted to you a couple of times, met you in person last week, but I think you're incredibly humble in the work in which you do, because I think a lot of the catalyst, a lot of the driving force, the passion, the energy, not just to get Erdington to where it is, but to sustain it, comes through you. And you very much embody and encompass what this award is all about. So in terms of unsung heroes, if there was an award for that, I think you would also be the recipient of that. I think the world needs a lot more Andys in this world, because through the effort and determination and drive, whether it's cooking the chips or getting that in, guys and girls in, you're doing a remarkable job. But for every person that you're bringing into rugby, the filtering effect throughout the community is just unbelievable. So I think it's only fair just to be able to credit you with the hard work you do, because I'm sure the boys and girls tell you and everyone else at the clubs tell you, but it's important for me to say it to you because you're a fine human being.
Well, thank you for that. I mean, there's 20 more of me down at Erdington. The only difference is I've got the biggest mouth, so I'm the one that. But we do. I mean, as a group of individuals, and I take this on a wider perspective. The Erdington area generally, it's a very community-based area. During lockdown, there was a lot more help and support for people in the Erdington area coming from people from Erdington than I saw in some of the surrounding areas. And that's testament to the type of people that are there and why we choose to, play rugby at Erdington and be part of that wider community.
Definitely. There should be more like you, and I'm sure there are lots more like you around the country, Andy, and everyone at Erdington. From me, want to congratulate you as well. So what are the plans for the future, Andy?
Oh, well. Well, we'd like to see the virus disappear so we can just actually get on with rugby. Well, it's probably impacting us slightly more than some clubs in terms of the kids setup, because a lot of our kids that we draw down because of the contact aspect of the game. They really are keen to get that aggression out and get stuck in. And they've not been brought up in rugby backgrounds and maybe not have that discipline to just stick with the sport and play the touch game, etc. So we're hoping the virus disappears very soon. As a club, we're hoping to gain the lease on the fields that we use on Spring Lane. If that's the case, then we'll be, again, getting the begging bowl out for some investment. We need facilities. We know with better facilities we can draw even more kids, but we want to be able to do that with our current free offering for kids. So we also would like to see more people taking up on that free offering. So kids in the area, getting wind of the fact. We market it as best as we can, and this is a great platform for us to do that, to get even more kids involved. And then ultimately, who knows? We'd like to think that in the future, we're not a club that's out there to win major trophies when it comes to the actual sport, but it'd be lovely to see some of our kids, even play for bigger clubs than us. It'd be great.
That would be amazing, and it sounds like you are the perfect winners of this title. What Ugo? What is the prize for anyone that doesn't know and may want to get involved next year?
You'll have to go to my email on that. I actually don't have all of those details.
Andy, what was the prize?
and it's changed a little bit.
It's changed.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Premiership final, for example, I know that. I know there's been a load of kits sent down. There was tickets, and obviously that's been changed. But Andy, you might know better than myself.
Yeah, I mean, just for getting through to the last six, we got £1,000 worth of training equipment.
Fantastic.
We were due to be hosted by Wasps with a kids training session down at the Wasps ground, but again with COVID that was put on hold. Initially, there was supposed to be 100 tickets for the Gallagher final, but again with COVID, that's obviously stopped. So we have got a £2,000 bundle of equipment coming down from Gilbert.
Fantastic.
As the reward. So yeah, it's great.
Absolutely fantastic. Ugo, just finally to you, mate. What does it mean to you to be part of something like this, to see what it will do to Erdington and their plans for their future?
Yeah, I guess in my line of work, I'm heavily involved in rugby and I love it. Commentating, I think it's great. I'm in the most competitive league in the world. I think that's my take on the Gallagher Premiership. But I think there's some things that are far bigger and far more impactful and far greater than our sport, and it's been involved in stuff like this. And it's part of the reason why I'm very proud to be a Gallagher ambassador. They're not just title partners of the Premiership. There is meat on the bones. There's a purpose and a drive to what they do. And I think it's important to shine a light on the grassroots all the way through to the greats and been able to do the two. And we've been able to do that. Within a week of Erdington getting an award, will be focused our attention to the Gallagher Premiership final. And for me, the synergy and the tie in between the two are really important. I think for the boys and girls that turn up to Erdington Rugby Club, they'll be watching the Gallagher Premiership heroes of the weekend, and to know that some of them have been involved. I mean, they chatted to, who did we have on? We had Jack Willis, didn't we?
Yeah. I
mean, he's got to be the best player in England at the moment.
Absolutely.
So to have that community tie and to see those local heroes, I think it's become quite an often said phrase at the moment. You've got to see it to believe it. And they're certainly getting to do that. I think it's desperately important that clubs like Erdington and people like Andy have their voices amplified. And I'm so proud that Gallagher have been able to do that.
Definitely. Andy, last word to you. When are we going to play rugby again?
Well,
$1 million question. We ask everyone.
We'll be training tonight from 5 o'clock onwards, so that's as good as it gets at the moment. But you know, at the end of the day, we've got to stick within the guidelines and sweat it out like everybody else. But come the glorious day, we can start the contact again. I think we'll start to see our numbers taking off again, which is what we need.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Gentlemen, I just want to thank you both for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure to hear the story of Erdington. Let's keep in touch, Andy. Let's try and help as much as possible. That's what we do at Philly Boots. Yeah. We try and help give grassroots clubs like yours the platform to get things off your chest and but more importantly, celebrate you. So, Andy, Ugo, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thanks to Gallagher for arranging this for us. And yeah, thank you very much.
No problem. Great commitment being out in the rain as well, Sean.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I am out in the rain. I am out in the rain. I thought I've just started a new job, and I thought this will be the most quiet place. It was dry when I got out here, and it's not. It is absolutely wet. Laptop soaking, but do you know what? It's absolutely worth it. So.
Good man. Well, take care. Thanks.
Good to meet you.
Cheers, everybody. Thank you.
Andy. Good to see you.
Guys.